Long ago, deep in the heart of Africa, there was a small village called Nwenda, where the red earth met the golden grasslands, and the tall baobab trees stood like wise old guards watching over the people. The air was often filled with the laughter of children, the hum of crickets, and the distant roar of lions on the plains. Life moved to the rhythm of the land. The rains came, the rivers swelled, the crops grew, and the drums beat in celebration. Among the villagers was a boy named Kofi, known for his restless curiosity. He asked questions about everything: why the stars twinkled, why the wind whistled through the reeds, why the elders spoke in proverbs instead of plain words. But there was one mystery that captured his heart more than any other: the ancient talking drum kept in the chief's hut. The drum was no ordinary drum. It was carved from the trunk of a sacred iroko tree. Its skin stretched from the hide of a lion, and its base engraved with patterns no one could fully understand. The elders said it had been in the village for generations, longer than any living memory. It was said that the drum could speak, not in the language of people, but in the language of truth. It would only beat when danger approached or when the village needed guidance. No one dared strike it for fun, for it was a sacred keeper of the land's spirit. One humid night, when the moon hid behind thick clouds and the air felt heavy, an unusual stillness fell over Nwenda. There were no crickets singing, no owls calling, just the whisper of the wind through the baobabs. Kofi lay awake in his mat, feeling something strange in the air, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. Unable to sleep, he crept through the silent village toward the chief's hut. The guards were asleep by the fire, and the flicker of the flames danced on the hut's entrance. As Kofi drew closer, he heard it, a deep, steady rhythm. Dum, dum, dum. It was faint at first, like a heartbeat far away, but it grew louder as he stepped inside. There was no drummer. The drum sat alone in the middle of the hut, yet it pulsed with sound. And then, Kofi heard words. They weren't spoken aloud, but they filled his mind like a clear voice carried on the wind.
The river is changing. The fish flee. The land cries, wake them.
His heart pounded. The river was the village's lifeline. Their water, their food, their blessing. Without it, they could not survive. Kofi ran from the hut and shook the elders awake.
The drum has spoken. It says the river is in danger.
At first, the elders chuckled, thinking it was another one of Kofi's wild stories. But his urgency convinced them to follow. By torchlight, they made their way to the river. There, under the pale glow of the hidden moon, they saw it. The water was murky, and dozens of dead fish floated on its surface. The elders traced the problem upstream and discovered that a massive tree had fallen across the river. Its sap was leaking into the water, poisoning it. The villagers worked through the night, cutting away the tree, flushing the poisoned water, and guiding the clean flow back to the village. By dawn, the river sparkled again, and life began to return. That morning, the chief gathered everyone in the square.
Last night our ancestors spoke through the drum, and it was Kofi who listened.
The people cheered, not just because the river was saved, but because a boy's courage had reminded them that Africa's spirit still speaks, if one has the heart to listen. From that day forward, Kofi was no longer just the curious boy. He became the listener, the one who heard the whispers of the wind, the beat of the earth, and the truth in the drum. And even now, if you wander under the baobabs on a silent night, you may hear it too. The voice of Africa in the wind, in the water, in the drums, and in the hearts of those who listen.